Ladies and gents, welcome to another best of 5 2v2 World Cup, and I'm calling upon you, YouTube, to show up in the later stages. You don't have to, of course. We appreciate you all the same, but if you can make it, it'd be amazing. Microsoft, a big reason they support these tournaments and put the money up for the players is because of you guys showing up. Everyone on YouTube makes it happen because a lot of people wouldn't be here on Twitch if it wasn't for YouTube. So, Spain versus Argentina. Winner moves on. This is going to be a tight one and very fun to watch with very good players. Tato in the red. He's playing as the Mayans and teamed up with Alan, who's playing as the Lithuanians. And then in the green, we have Nikov. Nikov is playing as the Ethiopians, so he'll be going archers. Teamed up with Kapoch, who is playing Indians. One more thing to mention for people who are watching on YouTube or even watching now on Twitch. The next stage, so the quarterfinals, quick maths here. It's something like I think the 13th and the 14th of December. And then the semifinals, the third place match, and the finals is the following weekend, so the 19th and then the 20th of December. So right before Christmas, it all goes down. And a lot planned and a special announcement on the final day. Now, Arabia is the map that I feel Argentina need to gain a lead on because of how good they are on Arabia and how quick Nikov is in particular. So Nikov's going to gain some type of an advantage here. And if there's ever a situation to do it, I think being up against a scout player is a good way to start off. And whoa, look at those elephants. That's funny. It's like they were parked in the rock garage there. The way they were facing, the way they're sitting orderly in that spot was weird. But I think going for something like man-at-arms here could make sense. Maybe fast feudal into some spears and archers to annoy land. So archers, V scouts on both sides if we're sticking to those meta roles. All right, now I'm looking around at the maps. Maps seem pretty solid overall. The one map, which is questionable, I'd say, is probably Kapoch, because he's up against someone going archers, and he's got his wood lines forward with no back wood line. But, I mean, yeah, Tato's map with these golds looks wonderful. But then again, it's not that good because he also doesn't have any back wood lines. You look at Nikov's map, again, the golds do seem a little bit further forward, but this is a great town center spot later on, and how many times have you seen maps be bad and then you still win because you take control? You have to play the map you get, assess the situation, and play accordingly. Not a lot else to talk about right now. Lithuanians, if this goes late, they do get Paladin. And Indians, they do have Camels and Imperial Camel, which always feels very strong when Knights are out. Even very strong when some archers are out, but it's mass archers that can give Indians problems. A regular camel, at most, has 2 pierce armor. So not that much defense in Castle Age against archers. Indian camels get 3. That's more than normal camels, but knights get 4 pierce armor. So I think if Spain are going to have success, Tato has to have a whole lot of archers in this game. And then best way to counter that would have Nikov for Argentina with a lot of archers. Okay, I'm going to address this because this poor soul has been asking me for hours. I assume it's the same person. The Mean Street 7, if you go to his chat history, mods, tell me how many times he said this. I swear to God, it's been over 50. He says, can you tell us your strategy for Team America with T90 Bro? I have seen that ever since 10 a.m. my time, and it's currently 2 p.m. That's 4 hours straight. He really wants to know. And I haven't been able to address it because of the games and casting with Nilly. So to answer your question, I think T90 Bro is too good. You know, America, we have a reputation to maintain as an average Age of Empires country. All right? So if I were to bring in my brother who has a total of 2 hours of gameplay over the last year, it would be too good. Only 5 times? Really? Only 5 times?
Ow.
Come on, Ducks. You know to lie in those situations for the memes. I thought it was more than that. I guess I saw it all 5 times. Ooh, Tato with that eagle being a pest. If you'll notice, Nikov is not on the way to feudal age yet. So I think Nikov is going fast castle in this spot. And his gold can be ranged, so it feels very risky to not contribute with military. Did he make a mistake or something? Did he... Did he somehow, like, shoot one of his boars with his town center or something? What the? Doesn't really feel like it, but I also feel like this is a garbage build order from him. This is just really late archers, actually. I'm really confused by that. I feel like that build order is normally much better. Land on this side, clean build, going scouts. And here comes Tato with militia. So Tato is actually drushing. I thought he was going feudal. He said, nope. I'm going to go drush fast castle on this side. And at least he's going to be able to offer some type of pressure against Capoch. And Capoch hoping to wall. This will be denied. This is very good for Spain. Land brought his scout over here to help out. And Capoch cannot quick wall all of this. So you want to full wall yourself and not make military for Nikov. That's great. But now your teammate's going to feel some pressure here. And again, I suppose Nikov wouldn't be able to help with militia or archers just yet. This just comes down to good play from Spain. Now, a drush is not meant to kill. A drush is just meant to delay. So if the militia get through, that's the only advantage they will gain from here. And look at Capoch try and desperately wall this up. And look at Land block it off. Huge for Spain game one. And with that scout being there on full HP and Capoch not having a scout, Capoch could actually lose villagers to this. Meanwhile, Tato's completely untouched. Lan is untouched, and he's sending more scouts. And if Lan is lucky, he might even be able to keep this opened up that entire time. Oh, God, that stable position is so lackluster. The eco is all over the place, and this is awful for Argentina. Oh, man, villagers will die here. One will go down. The stable's still not up. This is as bad a start as you could possibly imagine. I don't know if players have nightmares before tournament games, but the nightmares would have been even worse than this. No! 2 villagers down. The stable's denied. Oh, boy. And this is the opposite of what I said needed to happen. If Argentina had a chance here, it was going to be the opposite. I think they would have to have these early moments. And remember Nikov, he is going for archers, but he's not going for archers at a time where he can be all that useful with them. Tato, if his build order is right, Tato is going to be with ranges and on his way to Castle Age. But on the bright side, Tato is only 61% of the way up to the next stage. Nikov could maybe threaten Lan or threaten Tato over the next couple minutes. But it's just the small things. That's what Tato's so good with. And all the best players are, really. Just the small little moments. You turn a small lead into a massive lead. If Capoch is walled there, then that never happens, and that's the difference. I actually wonder if Capoch even scouted that before it was happening. No, he didn't scout it at all. So he didn't see the barracks. I think he was probably at home pushing in all of his ostriches. Does he? Yeah, he doesn't have a single ostrich. So he probably was pushing ostrich or deer. And due to that, didn't have the scouting intel and couldn't prep the walls earlier. Because otherwise, you pull a vill or two and you're fine. Lan happily sending more and more scouts in here. And they will be very happy with their position, Spain. Capoch making feudal age scouts, but has to defend with them. And here comes Nikov with something. He's got archers and a spearman, but truthfully, what's that going to do against walls? I like how Tato is still micring the militia, too. Very well done. Let's see if Argentina can recover here. Woodlines can be ranged. Some of the woodlines, anyways, could be ranged. The berries could be ranged by Nikov. And Capoch doesn't really know when to stop making scouts because he's unaware of how many land is going to make. You have to judge this one. You don't overmake scouts after taking losses. There's not a lot to stop Tato from bringing the crossbows right over to the woodlines of Capoch when he gets the upgrades. He's already on 2 ranges, already on the way to Castle Age. Nikov's not doing enough damage over here, just delaying a few villagers, and this brings me back to Nikov's build. And to Capoch being threatened, and now Lan is just going to run away. He is off of both woodlines against Vietnamese archers. This is actually... For a while there, it looked bad for Nikov, but this is actually really good. Because Lan is on stragglers, and Lan still hasn't clicked up to the next stage. He probably will not break through here with the scouts either, so he can't get any counter damage in. And what Tato will want to do send all of his archers over to Capoch, but he almost needs to send something over to keep Lan alive. Lan can barely take wood at the moment. The blacksmith could be denied. And if the blacksmith doesn't go up, then no castle age for Lan. And suddenly this is shifting a little bit. Argentina probably feeling better about their position. The big thing for them is defending from Tato now, because Tato could kill virtually anyone. Whoever he goes to. You see house walls from Capoch and a tower. This is good defense. Now, Tato is actually sending his crossbows over towards the mid. And I'm pretty sure Lan has scouted that forward gold. Oh, look at Nikov now. Nikov's on the wood line on the left, the right. He's over here. He's through. Oh, my God. Such a brutal start for Capoch. But Argentina says, it's our turn now, buddy. Or buddies, or whatever they'd call them. Oh, man, the micro from Nikov is so sick. He's being annoying here. He'll snipe a villager after sniping villagers here at the same time. Lan is dying. Lan is dying before Tato can even get here. What a turnaround. And here comes Capoch. This is amazing for Argentina. Oh, my goodness. And we're seeing the risk of Fast Castle now, aren't we? There's going to be a payoff. But my word, Lan is in big trouble. Tato will be in an excellent position to carry Spain into this game, but we have Nikov and Capoch on the way to Castle Age. If they could just find these villagers back here, that's 4 more guaranteed kills. All right. Well, we have ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen. It was not looking right for Argentina at that start. I love how Capoch showed up at the proper time with the scouts that he had. For Argentina, it's amazing that Lan had to come back home. That's kind of funny. Capoch could have killed this villager, but knew that this one was weak and went over. Oh! Doink! No! No! And now Nikov has to keep his army numbers alive. What a game we have here, guys. You know, if Tato's able to kill all of Nikov's crossbows and carry his team, this is still winnable for Spain. Still very winnable for Spain. Nikov should go with a lot of military now. He's looking at 18 numbers. Tato's at 13. Tato does have crossbows over here. Lan is about to be in Castle Age and can contribute with knights. And in Age of Empires, we pay close attention to the scores. So the first score is the individual player's score. The second score is the team score. Scores make up a lot of different things. Scouting, upgrades, units. And score is a huge indicator. I know it's unique to Age of Empires, but it's a massive indicator of who's winning a game and how close a game is, and it is going to be very close. Watch this. After Nikov and Capoch hit Castle Age, watch the score. 200 difference. Boom. Boom. Look how close that is. What a close game we have here. This is amazing to start off a series. And it also has been... It's been brutal in different ways to different players. Tato's been untouched. Nikov has been relatively untouched. Tato for Spain, 3 town centers right now. He has the most villagers in the game. But the concern for him is Lan has to decide on booming or making a lot of knights. And the correct play here is almost always booming. So he won't have many knights. Whereas I think Capoch is going to have more camels. So there will be more military for the time being for Argentina. And Tato needs to back away to keep his army numbers alive due to that. The problem is he can only back away for so long before Lan's like, Tatito, Tatito, I need your Dorito, and he needs help. So Tato can't really move far. And he also doesn't know exactly where the Argentinians are at the moment. And now he's heard, he just got signaled. Tato says, I'm here. And they're still not heading over to Lan's base. Interesting. Stone wall from Lan, houses from Lan. Okay, so he wants to make it so they'd have to dive underneath the town center, which honestly could win them the game, but a lot of teams won't take that risk. This is a play from Spain, realizing that Argentina wants them to react. And they said, no, I'm going to be proactive instead, and we're going to go kill Capoch. But if these units get through, I feel like Argentina is in a massive lead. Because now Lan fortunately has the gold over here. He has to abandon this. He barely has farms. But at the same time, Capwatch will be off of gold in the second, too. What is this game? Oh, that's a good play. Oh, that immediate reaction to make a market there is huge. But the market won't complete. Meanwhile, the armies for Argentina have to work their way around. And if Argentina cannot pressure land further and they have to go save Capwatch, this is a bold move from Spain that has paid off. Look at that. That's so good from Spain. I cannot stress how pro that is. Because so many teams would save land there. And then that would let Capwatch do his thing. But they decided instead to move out and defend with some well-placed buildings. And now Argentina is reacting. But actually, Spain, maybe realizing that, because they no longer see the army here, will back away, not wanting to get trapped. At least Tato will. Lan runs in with some knights and scouts, sees the camels, and says, no thank you, and we'll run back. And let's do quick maths here on the vill counts for the teams. It's 106 villagers for Argentina. It is 113 villagers for Spain, with Tato carrying, but Lan being far behind. And with military, quick math. Sorry, I'm not Spirit of the Law. It's 47 military for Spain, and it's 48 military for Argentina. I mean, this is brain exploding levels of closeness. What a game, and it might really depend on if Tato's able to get to Imp, because collectively it feels like Camel Crossbow could deny this castle, but that's also such a good choke point for Tato to sit in. 22 crossbows versus 37 crossbows. Yeah, never mind. Argentina cannot fight that. In open spaces, they might be able to, but the cleanup from Tato! So many crossbows being killed off here. We said it the entire tournament that Indians, they struggle against a lot of archers. Tato has a lot of them, and he's on his way to Imperial. And Argentina finds some... Can they find a time window to do damage? I guess this is their window. Can they find damage to do within the window? On the wall? On the... Yeah, you know what I mean. This is awkward. And oh, wow. So, Lan realizing that his knights contribute nothing now, is now sending what resources he can over to Tato. So this is all about Tato for Spain. So Tato will use those resources to go for ARP. Meanwhile, Nikov's on the way to Imp. Nikov will need to add more ranges for production. I could be wrong. I kind of feel like Capwatch just started slinging too. But maybe Nikov did that on his own power. It's not that crazy for him to have done that, as now Lan is going to take big losses, and that includes villagers and a town center. But can Argentina hold from Tato's Imp pressure? Because that's going to be nuts. He has twice the amount of military of Nikov. And also, this is going to be a situation where Nikov will lose his crossbows if he stays here. So yes, they kill the villagers, but if he loses his crossbows, it's then 60-some for Tato, and Nikov will have almost 10. I think if you ask Spain, they would have wanted this to happen, because this is a huge clear-up. Nikov getting as much value as possible. Maybe I'm off on that, because then again, this is a fight that Spain's taking before him. Actually, no. Argentina's okay with this. I think, maybe? I mean, Tato did have 55 military before that fight. Still 35 to 11. And they did weaken Lan, so Lan's position to eventually come back into the game is even further now. And Nikov hold on his own. You just know Obsidian Arrows is going to come in at some point, right? Obsidian Arrows, a tech that Nikov hates. There is a group where pro players and casters and the like, they share their feedback on bugs. They share their feedback on civilizations. All that. And ever since, no, even before that group existed, Nikov has been saying, why, as one of the best civs ever, Mayans received Bombard Arbalest. That is what Nikov has called them. So now, poor Argentina is going to be up against Bombard Arbalest. I'm hearing the tech has already come in. I agree that one of the best civs ever should not have a tech that destroys buildings with archers. I agree. As fun as it is, this should not be a thing. It is unnatural. That's 11 units melting a town center faster than a ram would. I mean, this is ridiculous. How do you stop it? How do you stop this, man? Tato, all on his own, making freaking archers, melting buildings. Bombard Arbalest. The big thing Tato has to worry about as he's trying to kill Kapoch is Nikov. Because while Mayan Arbalest can destroy buildings, Ethiopian Arbalests are the superior Arbalest in an Arbalest v Arbalest fight due to the firing speed. So if Nikov is able to take good engagements here, it will be better for them. But the problem is he's fighting at a numbers disadvantage. He's got 22 and Tato has... and Tato has 50. I'm just laughing because Kapoch is building a castle here. 2 castles in the same spot to just hold on. I feel like the camels will contribute so little. Well, there's not many of them, and Tato will happily take this fight. Who cares if Nikov has the hill? I think the pro move for Lan, as he's slinging, would be to add markets right now. Because you can full trade boom in Castle Age, and the idea is when you're slinging is you never want to stop slinging until Tato has an economy he can rely on at home, until you have an eco where you can go imp and contribute. So it actually makes a lot of sense to send 4 villagers down here and make 4 markets and just trade like crazy. But believe it or not, Tato still has 104 villagers of his own. Okay, that palisade's gone. That palisade's gone too. The house, oh yeah, we don't need houses. That house is gone. Oh my god, that's his MTC. That's Kapoch's MTC. He's not going to make it to imp. Oh, you picked the wrong one, my friend. That is horrible. Trust me, I've been there in this tournament. It does not feel good. It does not feel good. It all happened to me in my first game in the group stage against Vietnam B. And just like in my game, I don't think it's going to matter because it still feels so over. Tato's a 200 pop. Feels so over. That's quite a few camels for Kapoch, but he's completely surrounded. Nikov trying his best. Check out what Lan's doing. Lan is going to wall the corners off. That way they will have 3 corners secured, and Argentina cannot trade long term. Yeah, just rebuild that town center. That's a great decision. Yeah, just rebuild the town center. If that was any other situation, maybe that's fine. But here, not sure about that one. The stupid thing is, the Arbalest could take out the castles, too. And he's going imp again in this TC. Kapoch, I know how it feels. He's going to lose his Imperial Age Town Center again. It's right next to 2 castles, but it's not enough. No. The only way that Argentina can do this, if 2 people fight this army... I don't see that ever happening. Just send your resources to Nikov. He's going imp with the TC in the north now. It's hidden away, man. He just built that so he could go imp. The safest TC possible. And here comes Nikov. And Nikov, that villager's dancing like crazy. Nikov trying to kill Lan. Tato's sending some help over here. And the only thing I can really say about Spain is that I think I love the walls, but you've got to be thinking long-term and thinking trade. And then Lan is on the way to Imperial. Okay, thank God. Not with that TC, but with this one. However, Tato might be able to save him. There's Arbalest over here. There's Arbalest over here. Can we get some salutes in chat for Kapoch? Because he's actually going to make it to Imp this time. He will get to Heavy Camel. And despite all the raids, he still has 82 villagers. So he's actually... He has a reasonable eco considering he's been thrashed that many times. And it almost looks like Spain wants to trade this direction instead of trading south to east after these walls. And they're pretty much sitting in all the possible trade routes for Argentina, so trade is not a possibility. Someone's saying Kapoch needs to raid Tato. I think using mobility would be fantastic. But you can't be anywhere near the plumes now and Arbalest if you don't have imp upgrades. Like, it's just, you're just tossing away units So unfortunately, he can't raid with anything. He would just die. Tato's got castles everywhere, and he's actually switching into plumes because, while plumed archers are not affected by obsidian arrows, they are incredibly strong against... Wow, that was the Imperial HTC too. They're incredibly strong against other archers, and they're more mobile, so long-term, they're probably the better choice. Can you imagine if Capwatch would have taken out that TC 2 minutes ago? That was Land's imp TC. That would have been nuts. Tato with Arbalest around here. Tato with Arbalest. Oh, sorry. Hals is here. Tato with Arbalest here. Tato here. Tato's everywhere with 90 military. We do have Land getting in the swing of things now. He's receiving food from Tato. Tato doesn't need that anymore. But he's going to be looking towards Paladin. He does have one relic with Lithuanians. Nothing crazy, but there's another one here. And it's still not looking good for Argentina. But I feel as though with Imp, Camel, and Arbalest, they arguably have the better post-Imp comp. We'll see. Unfortunately, Capwatch still has been unable to reboom, as he will lose his 3rd town center in this game. Actually, that's the 4th, I think. Maybe even the 5th. Who knows? It's too many to count. I'm not very good at math, apparently. Oh, man. The thing is, with Nikov and Capwatch as well, like, if they... Depending on the mindset, you know, this could be very frustrating to face off against. Rip to all these camels. Yeah, this would tilt me a bit. I think this would ruin my confidence going into the next game. And this is also a fantastic fight for Spain. And now that armor's not even in yet. These heavy camels. This is a perfect fight for Tato. A fight that Tato might even win, because that armor upgrade still hasn't come in. 44 arbs here. This is GG. Capwatch will go down below 100 population. Spain have the trade up and running. They have Land with Cavalier and Relics incoming and Paladin incoming. Well, not incoming, but will be. But yeah, you just don't come back from losing this many villagers after everything that has happened. But it wasn't the sling that was OP. It was Tato's position with an assist of the sling, you know? I think Tato, he didn't receive any sling until after he had already clicked up to Imp. It was the correct decision from Spain because Capwatch had camels and Land didn't have knights. So it wouldn't have made any sense for knights to come out at that stage. And it actually makes Land's position stronger later in the game because he's not as pressured. And Nikov doing his thing here, 150 population, but there's still Arbalest running through Capwatch's poor eco.
Cheers.
You can't hide in town centers. I think you need to pick Persians to counter this. I don't know. Persians or Byzantines. Just run. Run far away and never come back, villagers. I think the win rate for Sling in this tournament is about 25 to 30%. And a lot of those wins came on Arena. This might actually be the first time I've seen Sling on Arabia. And I think it's the first time that we've seen it certainly successful on Arabia, if it's the first time we've seen it. And wow. I mean, that's just beast mode from Tato. That is... I don't care if he received 10 billion of every resource. He was in 4 different spots at once. He had already started trade. He was melting TCs as he was pushing Nikov here. He was assisting on the left side. He has a castle on every important hill in front of his base. He has a castle here denying a gold. Tato was quite simply everywhere. And that has, as I said before, kind of be a little bit frustrating to face off against. Just a little bit if you're Argentina. Because they really put themselves in a good position after that pressure they put in on Land. But in the end, it's better to have one very, very strong player and one kind of dead player compared to 2 okay-ish players, I suppose, which is what happened in the mid-game here. Like this spot right here, faster castle age for Tato, that's where he started to gain a big lead. So yes, Land fell off, but when Capwatch and Nika both could not deal with Tato here, and then Tato hit Imp, it was always going to be brutal. Man. Why didn't Capwatch make more skirms? He didn't really have the economy for skirms. Look at that.
Wow, already 1 year. THX.
The guy who had the most eco in the game was also receiving resources from Land. So he actually sent more than he received, funny enough. He only received 1,200 resources in total. He had more food, more wood, more stone, more gold collected in that game. 232 kills. And on top of that, raised 32 buildings. An eighth of that was town centers. The thing is about skirmishers there, you can't really... Castlade skirmishers get wrecked by imp archers. Because I think the max armor you have... Shoot, I should know this exact number. But an Arbalest does 10 damage a hit. I think the Pierce armor for a skirmisher with Castlage upgrades is 6. So Arbalests fire faster than skirms. They're still doing 4 damage a hit, and you've got like 50 of them. Skirmishers would melt. Honestly, everything in Castlage that you can make melts to Arbalest. You need to have Imp Army. So, you could make an argument that maybe Nikov could have made skirms, but Nikov didn't have this eco. And then that opens up the potential for Land to just wreck later on once he comes into the game with Cav. That's just Tato being a beast. All right, now, I said Argentina were one of the most prepared teams in this tournament, and that is true. In terms of practice time, they put in so many hours practicing against top teams. Teams that they destroy, teams that they would lose to. And so I think that they probably faced off against Mayans on Arabia before. And let's see now. I'll ban out the maps here. It will be Nomad or Ghost Lake for Argentina. And I'm really excited to see Spain's home maps. But if you're, let's say you're a team that's favored to win, do you think that you want to stomp 3-0? Or do you want to just, play casual and win 3-1 and be okay with that? I personally feel like it's a massive deal to 3-0 at this stage, because every team that advances is going to be having a tough task against who they're up against, and they never want to show their home map strategies. Like, Team Acropolis is especially rare, and I don't think Spain want to use Team Acropolis. In fact, if Argentina wins, I think Spain will use Team Islands first, because Team Islands is the more understood map. Yeah, you want to just thrash people here, both for a confidence boost, but also because you want to save strats. In fact, I got a text from Miguel last night. Miguel was like, I'm so happy that we did not have to show our strategies. Okay, Ethiopians. And what was it? It was Indians, right? Here we go. I haven't seen what the next game will be, but I'm guessing it will be Nomad for Argentina. Yeah, okay, it will be Nomad, and they've actually already launched it. Can we get some 10K spam in chat? 10K viewers, let's go. Thank you, guys. 50 seconds till we're in. Crazy viewership for just the round of 16. You guys are awesome. Now, remember, next weekend, bring your moms. Okay? The weekend after that, bring your moms and your second cousins. Forget about the dads. Dads are busy. And then on the finals, bring everybody. Bring your entire family, all right? Thank you, Balak, for the 5 months. There's been a lot of new Twitch Prime subs today. Thank you for those new Twitch Primes. Backfire, I see you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. This time went by so fast. I know, seriously. 11 months ago. What? The game came out 11 months ago. Thank you, Marine King Boxer, for that Prime sub. I know Argentinians around the world are hoping... Well, Argentinians around the world, but probably mainly in Argentina. So I suppose Nikov doesn't even live in Argentina now, but anyways, they're probably hoping that this could get tied up 1-1. I think neutrals around the world want this to be tied up 1-1. I think Spain's such a good team that if Argentina goes down 2-0, it is highly unlikely that they can win. Tato is Malians for this game in the red. We'll have Lan in yellow. Last time I saw Lan play on Nomad was back in the 2018 2v2 World Cup, and it was against Finland, and he got town center dropped like 16 times. Ooh, oh, check this out. Now, there's no Vil fighting on Nomad before 4 minutes, but they've all found each other in some way, shape, or form. And, oh, we have a restart. Okay. Yeah, you get 1 restart per best of 5. You rarely see them. But something's up here. Capwatch didn't like his start. Nomad, it's especially good to have restarts in best of 5s because it's heavily luck-based. And at times, your villagers are going to be further away from your town center, and it can really screw up your start.
T90 salute,
So you get one
T90
restart
salute.
for whatever reason, and they've just called it a 1 minute, and they're just going to replay with the same civ, same map. But different map gen, of course. Thank you, Swamdon, for the 2 months. Thank you, Smithster, for coming back. Hitman, thanks for the new sub. Why no Vil fighting? Vil fighting on Nomad is banned. This might not be known in ranked games, so you might be Vil fighting yourself, but it is banned because I suppose the reason is because it takes away from the actual gameplay. It can end the game at the start, you know. Oh, Nikov dropped? Really? Let me see what... Oh, no, it's Argentina restart. And it looks like they might have restarted it already, so... So I think it's a 4-minute mark that you can't fight with villagers. Or it might be set... Okay, I have to restart my entire game. Thanks, DE. Normally it's either that, or you cannot fight until the town centers are up. So 4 minutes or whatever, it's fine. But there will be a lot of aggression with villagers. Villagers laming resources, that's all allowed. Vil fighting past the TCs is all good. Is a TC fight also banned? Yeah, the rules are... So a TC fight's not banned per se, but I think in the specific rules for Nomad, it is... If the town centers start next to each other, it's an automatic admin re. Meaning that it's restarted because at that point, it ruins the entire game, so... I think so. You guys are quizzing me on this, and I should know, but since Nomad has its own set of rules, I forget. Chat is going so fast, nobody will see that I love Colin, says Ferox. Well, Colin, Ferox loves you. I saw that. Yo, Electro, thank you very much. Donaldinho just received a gifted sub. And Dongle Kong. Thank you, Electro, for the 5 gifted. Okay, if they've started, I think we're a bit behind because of the game restart. And here we go. You see how far Tato's villagers are from each other? Sometimes it's a bit random on Nomad. But that's also why you pick this map. You pick this map for the randomness and for the awkwardness and for the craziness. All right, so players will have to pick TC spots. There's no more restarting for Argentina. Spain, if they want to, could do it. You might put it in the back of their mind if they have a bad start. All right, guys. Well, we're in. Let's talk about the town center positions. Starting for Argentina, here's Kapoch playing as the Persians. One of the best nomad civilizations. Also should be docking at this time. Oh, he hasn't docked yet. Like, this is why... He actually had, I think, a worse start now than he did in the previous game. Like, this dock is not up compared to Tato. Tato already has a fishing ship. So, Malians, Persians, both top 2 civs on Nomad, because with Persians, you start with extra resources. And so you can TC, dock, and also make fishing ships. And then Malians, because your wood buildings are discounted, you can do the same. So that's actually a very weak start for Argentina. Here you have Nikov. He's Spanish. And you might think, wow, how does Nikov have 6 villagers already? It's because your town center builds very quickly. So he was quick to having that up. And he still hasn't docked. Man, this is so brutal for Argentina, I feel. Because the keys are docking immediately. And not only docking immediately, but getting the town centers up. And then we haven't talked about Lan. Lan is Berbers, who is also docked. And he's docking pretty close to where Nikov is. And he is, my assumption is he wants to go fast castle camel archers here. But just watch this right here. Actually, am I blowing things out of proportion? What's going on? I might be blowing things out of proportion. We'll see what the eco looks like, but it's actually Argentina leading. Here I am freaking out about Argentina's start. they're both winning, so okay, whatever. The reason this dock looks really bad, because normally you'd want to dock the little peninsula, is because he wanted to dock next to a shorefish.
It's been 20 years since I played O2, and I had no clue it was still going on. Happy to see that there is still an active community for a game I spent so much time playing on the zone back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, happy to be a part of it. I always just wanted people to appreciate this game. Many years ago, I'd talk to my friends like, hey, you're a gamer? What do you play? And then, they'd say the usual. It's pretty freaking cool, man. To be a part of this and that Age of Empires is not only growing, but thriving right now. So thank you very much, J. Dot. Happy to have you here, and I really have to break down this start because it's going to be oh so awkward. So the roles is you tend to have one water player, one fast castler. And the fast castler tends to go into unique unit. So Tato, he's probably going to go fast feudal for multiple docks and try and win water. And then you have Lan go fast castle, no water, into, excuse me, I can't think for some reason, camel archers. Now Nikov, he's Spanish, so he's probably going fast castle conks. And then Kapoch, who's the Persian player, will probably go for water. So the position of the docks is really interesting, and this is where the luck factor can come in, because you look here, Lan, his fishing ships are near Nikov, but funny enough, both Nikov and Lan will likely not fight a lot on water. They'll probably just hope their teammates will keep them safe. And so I'm not sure where Kapoch is going to build his second dock, but if the turkeys are scouting and they find dock locations, that can play a big role here. I'm trying to see what the scouting looks like. See, Tato's scouting for docks and TCs with turkeys right now. And I suppose he might have... Okay, he knows his teammates here. So he sent him a turkey earlier. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see if they know about the other docks. Oh, they do. Okay, well then this is going to be massive, I think, for Argentina. Because Nikov could kind of change his game plan a bit and go for some water control to clear out Lan's fish. T90, is it possible strategy for Nomad to fully ignore water as one team? So, think about it this way. How many fishing ships does Tato have right now? Let's say Tato has, as he scouts with a fishing ship, he has 6. You would have to kill 6 villagers to be even if you ignore water. If you ignore water, you'd have to kill 6 villagers from Tato, and then you'd have to kill 6 villagers from land, and that's a lot. Not to mention that fishing ships are actually more efficient food source than villagers are at this stage. So, at this level, you flat out cannot. And at almost all levels of Nomad, water is hugely important. 1v1's a little bit different, because 1v1s can be very castle droppy. But team games, you're normally having a water player, yes. Is the screen flashing for anyone else? I hope not. Because that would be bad. I think it's just you, my friends. It's fascinating how Nikov and Kapoch are so close together. This can be really good for them or really bad for them. And wow, Tato's feudal time is nuts. Where will his second dock be? Oh wow, he's going for quite a few docks over here. He started to send a fishing ship this way. And I think Lan, let me see. Okay, Lan lost his sheep here. So he lost something here, and it was actually because this is unlucky for Kapoch. The fishing ships were going this way. Had they been going out this way, he would have never known. So he doesn't know who exactly, but because Lan lost a turkey down here, Tato will send some fires, and that could mean bad things for Kapoch. However, he is also going to be competitive on water. But I think the key is, will the fast castlers be safe? I see Nikov he's in a position to make some fires here with the faster feudal age over Lan. I don't think Lan's going to be doing that at all. If you look, he's already on stone. Nikov already on stone. So it seems like I prefer Argentina's position when it comes to the fast castler if Lan's fishing ships go down, because there's no way Tato can really defend from that. And Tato stonewalling really early, realizing that he's focusing on water. Nikov will likely drop a castle, and he cannot defend from conquistadors. This is very good strategy play and strategic decision-making. Words are hard from Tato. As you notice that Spanish will win this game 100%, either as a civ or as a team. That's true, yeah. I think Spain also beat Spanish when they were playing up against China. And I think they beat Spanish while having Chinese, which was really funny. That fishing ship will go down. Capwatch can just reposition his fish, but it doesn't look too pretty down here for that. Kato's feudal time's paying off already. It's 5 military to 2, and now we have a pause. Is Nikov making a fire? Yep. Okay, so Nikov making a fire ship means that Lan will probably lose out on some food income that he otherwise would need. So that's good for Argentina, but if Capwatch loses control of water, then Nikov could lose all of his fish later. Oh, and this is so good from Tato. He's sending a fire this way, so it's another game where Tato seems to really be carrying at some stage. Reminds me so much of the previous game. Good decision-making from Argentina. And Capwatch losing fishing ships. Big thing will be Navy numbers, so keep an eye on that. 7 versus 4. Nikov only on 1, and that'll probably be it for him because he's trying to go Castle Agent, and he's doing that as his land. Now, I'd say Nikov, I'm a little surprised to see he's not playing the water role because I feel as though that's one of his best strengths is playing hybrid maps. He and Tato, probably the 2 best hybrid map players. They're probably top 5 as far as hybrid maps go across the whole community. But that's not the case. We're going to have Nikov on Conquistadors. A good micro from Capwatch here. And good recovery, too. Very good recovery. On this side, though, Nikov's having some problems as he needs to defend. And he is adding some fire galleys, something that probably wasn't part of the game plan, but it's all about adapting on Nomad. So, meanwhile, Land does not have any fishing ships working at all. And I think he will redock over here somewhere and try and keep those fishing ships working. Oh, huge demo from Capwatch. And, man, what a good job from him now. It's 6 military for Tato and 6 for Capwatch. Well done. Also, if Nikov drops a castle, I'd love to see it really forward. But this hill's probably the safe play, because then it keeps his ally protected and himself as well. So we actually have 2 players on water for Argentina, and we just have 1 for Spain, and I think that's catching up with Tato. That combined with the fact he has to split up his population to combat Nikov on the right side means he's less effective on this side.
Long-time YouTube subscriber. Love the content and thanks for everything you do, man. Keep it up.
Big demo. Boom. Some revenge there from Tato. He's known for that. And Capwatch will have one swinging in soon. Economically, it's very close between Capwatch and between Tato when I'm looking at the resources. However, I think that the eco for Nikov is better because he's fishing. And Lan is not. So advantage Argentina. That's hundreds of food that will continue to come in because of the fishing ships, and you need that food for conquistadors. Now, you don't need food for camel archers. They're just wood and gold. And the castle is here now for Lan. Yeah, great job for Argentina. You can't lose on this game right here if you want to beat Spain. Spain's too good. You need to tie it up 1-1. I actually see a transport ship for Nikov. No way. That's a bit of a risky play, you know, because he doesn't have that much on water right now. Tato sends in a demo, and that was a huge waste. I feel like it's almost better to make a single petard in this spot, because 1 petard takes out a feudal age stonewall. I know it's expensive, but instead of making a transport ship, I would prefer the petard. That's true. Capwatch does play a lot of ladder games with hybrid maps. You know, I just don't... You know, I think Argentina will have no complaints about the current position. Let's say that. They've obviously talked about it and probably practiced both spots. And there's the transport ship! Oh my god, and the transport ship goes down! Tato snipes it! Oh, that's 125 wood down the drain. Okay, and now Nikov is going to go for a petard. But honestly, I think a petard could end the game. Tato's already struggling to win water. If he gets petarded, then he's struggling on land. I mean, the only way this doesn't end up being really bad for Spain is if land gets over here right now. But I think Lan is too far away. And he's being maybe too patient. I do feel like Conks are better than Camel Archers at this stage. They've got to expect that petard. Get the petards in chat, guys. Boom! Here they come. The Conquistadors are through. Tato has to bail and say goodbye to the wood income, say goodbye to the gold income. How can he fight on water now? Conks are terribly inefficient sometimes with their shots. I don't see how he didn't get kills earlier, but Nikov gets 2. We'll get 3. Here comes the help, but is that too little? Is that too late? As Tato's got way too many idols. And the Kongs have done enough. Nikov still defending his fish throughout that. And we should see some big differences with the Castle Age times and some big booms on the other side. Tato has 2 demos. I'm sorry, there's a lot to focus on right now. Conk micro from Nikov. Got the demos over here landing. Tato recovering well. The concern for Tato is he doesn't have the resources to go up. So even if he pushes back on water a little bit, Nikov's untouched and Nikov can just go and win water there. So you look at Nikov's position. Nikov's 3 town center build production. Yes, Camel Archers are a bit awkward for him to fight right now. But with Tato and Lan lacking so much eco, Capwatch can just contribute some Knights and Camels, win water, and I think Argentina will have a massive lead. It should be a game that Argentina closes out. We had some miraculous play. Oh! The most effective castle ever! 3 Camel Archers just died there. Oh, geez. But yeah, it should be a game that Argentina closes out. I know that Spain had some wonderful all-in the previous game, but they were ahead and they stayed ahead and got further ahead. This is now them being really far behind as Nikov will make petard number 2. Also, for those who say Sling is the way to go, Sling is only allowed in Castle Age, so it's not as if Tato can start sending resources to land. I guarantee you if Sling was allowed, he'd start slinging right now, but you need to make it to Castle Age first, which is a huge investment. And it makes it so you know, the game would be a lot different if you were allowing Sling in Feudal Age, let's put it that way. Camel Archer's starting to feel stronger than the Conks. Lan has to carry Tato now. He only has 41 economy. Tato staying with it because of some fishing ships, but here comes the upgraded navy. See if Tato can hold on, and we'll see if Lan can maybe get some counter damage in. And oh no, Tato's dying again. Petard through the wall. Tato off of gold. Also, one of my favorite balance changes ever, because I know sometimes devs get a little bit too much hate, was how they made it so Feudal Age Stonewalls only have 900 HP. Years ago, it still was 1800 HP, so you'd need 2 petards to break it, making Stonewalls so strong. I really like how petards are actually useful now. Tato's not liking it, I'm sure. And it makes Stonewalls less effective and makes you have to protect yourself in some ways. So you look back at this castle spot, you think that's a bad castle because it's awkward, but that's actually perfect because that protects both ecos for Argentina. Whereas for Spain, I bet you Tato wishes that Lan's castle was next to his town center. Deal's over, guys. Nikov, 85 eco at 28 minutes. That's 100 population. And the GG's called. The score is 1-1. What a performance from Argentina. That was... I mean, Capwatch beat Tato on water. But I think this comes back to Nikov's scouting and Nikov getting ahead of Lan. Because spotting the dock position from Lan, taking out the fishing ships, and then being a threat to Tato meant that Tato had to worry about 2 people. Then, because of the fishing ship lead, he had the better fast castle. He pressured Tato multiple times with the conks, leaving Tato dead and Nikov crippled, at least economically long term. Petards, probably MVP. Without the petards, they wouldn't have been able to do that damage, but Nikov and Capwatch, they practiced a lot of Nomad, and the practice paid off there. 29 kills, 8 deaths, and compare the economies. That's ridiculous. Maybe Tato overextending on water was a mistake. No, I don't really think so. I don't think so. I think Spanish, they're always going to have a better castle time. And they're always going to have a better unique unit than Berbers just because of how Spanish play out. So a lot of that also comes back to drafting a bit too. Because Spanish build faster. Their TC's up faster than Berbers, guarantee. Their castle's up faster than Berbers, guarantee. And he also took out land's eco on water. So maybe if land doesn't lose the fishing ships, he could have a competitive boom. But yeah, it scores 1-1, and we have to move on past that now. You really think Caphotch is better in water than Tato? Not necessarily. I think that Tato had 2 people to deal with, and he wasn't expecting that. The water rolls. Normally 1 player goes water, not 2. Nikov had a fine line of going 2 dock water and also with that castle. So scores 1-1, will eliminate civs, and now Spain has to show us what they had planned. My theory was if you're thinking past Argentina and you're thinking about what you want to accomplish throughout the whole tournament, if you have respect for Argentina but also think you can beat them, I think you go Team Islands here as Spain. If you win this and then it goes to Argentina's home map, which would be Ghost Lake, and you win that, you never need to show the world what you have planned for Team Acropolis. And I can see now they've actually picked Team Islands for their next map. So it will be Team Islands. And I don't know if that's Spain's thinking, but a small part of them, while they're giving respect to Argentina's skill, probably are thinking we want to 3-1 now and never show the world what Team Acropolis is going to be. Now, I'm confused because I thought that Team Acropolis would have Berbers on it because I think Argentinians would want to have Mongols there. So now that Berbers, you died with Berbers on Nomad, I actually really like the Argentinian spot if they're able to get another win here and take it to Team Acropolis. Okay, so what was it? It was Malians, and it was Berbers, and it was Persians, and it was Spanish. Team Islands. The first thing you always look for is Italians, and Italians was globally banned at the start by Spain. Then you start looking for civs like Vikings, Japanese, Portuguese, and you have Vikings and you have Japanese and Malay actually for Spain. All 3 of those are great. And then I feel like Argentina's lacking a water civ here. Portuguese is solid, but who do you partner with Portuguese? I think the strategy is simply to have one person fight for water, and then you pick a civ that's really good at fighting on land. I'll tell you how this is going to work for Argentina. I think I just figured it out. They're going to use Cumans on Ghost Lake, 100%. They're going to use Chinese on Ghost Lake or Team Acropolis, for sure. Okay, they'll go Cumans and Britons or Cumans and Slavs on Ghost Lake. If it goes Team Acrop, they go Chinese Mongols. So I think we see Tatars here. Tatars is tempting for Team Acropolis, but I think we see Tatars here. Let's see. Just because you're going to go landing with a civ, and you want to save the other civs, and oh, that was the other game. Whoops. Thanks, DE. Yeah, it's they haven't started yet. My bad. Wait. They have started. There we go. Mongols. Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, I assume Mongols are going to go landing because Portuguese have a bonus which is based on water or contributes to water. Okay, so let's try and use process of elimination then just for Argentina. You can tell civ drafting is very confusing here. Long term, if we see Ghost Lake, it's definitely Britons there, maybe Britons Slavs or Britons Cumans. If it is Team Acrop, they go Tatars for sure then, right? I feel like Tatars... Maybe Tatars... I don't know. Maybe I should just wait and we'll see what happens. There's a spec delay here. These games are live. We have 50 seconds. We'll be in. Thank you, vendor funding, for the year of support. Another gold badge enters the chat. Thank you, Baby Trooper, for 7 months. Badata says, catching what I can of this stream while on break. Long-time YouTube sub. Love the content, and thanks for everything you do, man. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. It's not going to lie to you guys. Not just this month, but also this year in general has been a lot. It's been a lot. I definitely haven't taken care of myself, but I've enjoyed this year so much making content for you, so thank you. Oh, it's just nothing. Thank you for the 2 months of support too. 20 seconds. We've officially reached a viewer record for this tournament so far. Thanks for that. And we will go into this with Spain having the edge. And I think Spain has the edge because of the civilizations. Vikings and Japanese feels better to me. However, there was a game in the group stage, Argentina versus Germany. Argentina had a massive lead. And then Portuguese ended up holding on against them with some Vitorias. So I've seen it before. Tato in red playing as the Vikings. Land in yellow playing as the Japanese. In the green, we have Nika playing as Mongols. And then we have Capoch playing as the Portuguese. Very tiny little island over here. Obviously, in the group stage game, there were some extra neutral golds on the German side. And we were fortunately able to fix those issues. I say that as I'm double checking, you know. But also, I reviewed the game. I spoke to some people about it. I still feel like looking back with the lead Argentina had, they invest in trade, they win that. Instead of starting to castle drop and make bombard cannons. So Mongols for Argentina. I think Mongols have a pretty good tech tree when it comes to Navy. And in tournaments past, Mongols were actually picked on a lot of water maps where you needed to go fast feudal age. So if you wanted to go full wall and water, you could do it with Mongols just because of the hunt bonus, meaning you get to feudal age faster. I don't think in the mid game you're competitive against Japanese Portuguese though. And since the meta has been a lot of landing from one player on Team Islands, I think Nikov is going to put it on himself, as the Rhino is not following him, to go for a landing of some kind. T90, is Hidden Cup 4 already announced, or is it in the works? Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? Stick around for the finals on the 20th, guys. Interesting little peninsula out here. This would be an awful spot to end up on with the landing. This kind of looks like a rooster. Ah, damn it. We're not going to have a rooster map. Okay, restart. This is interesting. Why call a restart on islands? Well, there'll be no more restarts after this, but teams not taking any chances. If they see one thing they don't like, they're calling their restart. I suppose maybe the gold was a little bit forward, but the berry's a bit forward, but something Spain didn't like here forces them to call a restart. Right. Let's back away. It'll be the same civs, and it's still islands, but we'll have no more restarts and no more stoppages. I wish we had statistics on this. I swear, if one team calls a re, it's like the other team knows it's possible, and they start thinking about it, and then they'll call re. I've been casting for 5 years. Normally, if let's say one restart is available to each team, if there's 0 restarts, there's 0 restarts. It's either 0 or 2, I guess. That would be the way to say what I'm trying to express. Can you unmute Dave? You just have to refresh your stream. You can hear what Dave is saying. Actually, a lot of you guys are using Chrome, right? I've heard there's an issue with Google Chrome, and you can't hear Dave. So you actually have to download Firefox, and then you should be able to hear him. I don't know. It's some weird thing they're doing that Dave's sold out the Firefox, and they're paying him big money. Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, you need to disable ad block. You need to disable ad block, and you can hear Dave. On a completely unrelated note, we're going to go to a short break, guys. I'm going to run a 60-second ad. I'd like to thank the sponsor. I'm kidding. Thank you, Croco. Oh, you need to sub. Is that true? Do subs hear Dave? Thank you, Croco, for the 43 months. Cracklin, thank you for the Prime sub. true. Oh, wow. All right. I didn't even know that. I guess you can't sub to your own. Only Prime gamers. Yeah. I think I need to restart my game. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. We're about to be back in here. But again, the only advantage that Mongols can really get, because their hunt bonus doesn't apply to fishing, is going fast feudal and getting fire galleys out faster. So if you're going to fight on water, that's your only advantage. But you could also land on their island and make scouts super fast too. You got to say we need to use Microsoft Edge so Microsoft will drop more on the tournaments. Yeah, maybe if I start promoting Microsoft Edge, the spectating tools for DE will actually be half decent. My games won't crash. I'm really happy that Microsoft doesn't treat it that way. You know, I'm really, like, on a serious note, what I love about being an Age of Empires content creator is that Microsoft is kind of hands off and says, do your thing. And we're not going to force you to plug our stuff and say this and that. I would hate that. You know, as much as getting sponsorships is great, I feel like it kind of ruins the individuality of the streams if we have to go that route. So I am really happy that Microsoft doesn't dictate what we do, what we say, you know, as long as it's not too crazy, right? So Capoch, he's over here. He is on the very end of his island. He's playing as the Portuguese. We have Nikov playing as the Mongols. Since all of this is going to YouTube, you already heard what I have to say about Mongols, right? And I have to say, for all teams, the golds are kind of awkward if landings happen or if water control happens.
Scrub telling you thank you for the great content.
Did you just call Twitch chat 750 Elo King Hippo? Thanks. This gold could be ranged by war galleys in Castle Age. These golds seem fine. This gold could maybe be ranged. The berries could be ranged. Islands is awkward. Islands is definitely awkward.
Hola.
Hola.
But Argentina called a restart earlier on Nomad. And there's no more restarts. So we will have them all played regardless. Is the only Japanese advantage the tanky fishing ships? No, they have a very diverse tech tree. They have cheaper lumber camps and cheaper mills, which means they can get docks out earlier and afford more fishing ships. What I also really like about Japanese for the landing role, which I think we will see, is they get bloodlines on their knights if they want to go knights. They get arbalest. They have good pikemen. So if you're not going to contribute anything on water, I love the possibility to keep your fishing ships alive with the tankiness and plop down some buildings in the middle and annoy Argentina. Okay, now something Argentina has done is have the Mongol player or whoever's playing the non-water role make scouts, but make the scouts at home. So if you expect forward villagers, you kill them, and then you can just transport your scouts right over. So instead of transporting the vills, you just transport the military. I've seen it work, and I've seen it not work in this tournament. And I've seen that from a variety of different teams. So we will see. I don't think Argentina like this map too much. It was one of our best performing maps against Argentina when we trained. And Argentina A is way better than USA A. So, and also, we are not good water players. So with that in mind, and they also lost against Germany on this map, Spain maybe did their homework a little bit. Tato playing as the Vikings is back docking. Now, that's the other thing. If Tato wants to be the water player here, he doesn't get fire galleys available in Feudal Ages Vikings. He can only go galleys and demos. The Vikings actually struggle in early Feudal most times because of that. It's already starting to wall up his base. He was expecting some type of a landing. And when I first started seeing teams train for this, a lot of teams would wall to the shoreline. But then transports, you can transport around that. So you actually want to wall in a full circle and make a little arena for yourself. The dock placement is kind of weird to me. I think it's because he didn't scout the box turtle. Players really like to have that extra 200 food boost from having the villager there, so they will wait to place a dock next to a box turtle. He probably was just unlucky with scouting it. Forward dock for Nikov. Nikov's on the way to feudal. Okay, does he go gold here? He needs 100. Okay, 1 Vil to gold. I think he's going for water play. This looks like a water build. Yeah, Nikov is going to fight on water. What about Capoch? He's front docked it. No one will be in Fuelage as fast as Nikov. And he's getting Loom, so will he sneak because he's getting Loom, or is he getting Loom defensively? Meanwhile, Lan, side dock, no transport, walling up. Everyone's really scared of the transport ship. Haven't seen a single person make a transport yet. What if they all wall each other in, or they wall themselves in, and then no one transports? That'd be kind of funny. I don't think I've seen that yet. Just in case. Almost looks like Tato's going fast castle with this type of a build. The way he's been walling in Dark Age, which a lot of players wouldn't do, they would delay the walls till later. Yeah, he might go fast castle into longboats then. That would be a first for this tournament so far. See Tato scouting the middle to make sure there's no transport. Oh, there's a transport now from land. Okay. Very late transport. Now, I talked about this. I talked about how if you try and side dock or back dock, your transport could be late. Nikov's gonna have fires! And if Nikov sends them forward, this could get sniped. Oh, this is so risky for Lan. He's gonna feel such a sense of urgency. He does not know he's up against Nikov here. Nikov's point of view? You're kidding. You're kidding me. Oh, this is not good for Spain. This is not good for Spain. Nikov's just signaled it. And now Nikov will know pressure's coming. But will Nikov under or overreact, or neither? A tower on the gold. That feels weird to me. Loom makes a whole lot of sense. And now Tato will just try and take the transport out with one fire. Or Nikov will, sorry. And he'll try and take out the fishing ships too. Okay, so... normally you have feudal age water presence. There will be no feudal age water presence for Spain. It is Lan's job to harass not only Nikov, but to harass Capoch and his stables on the wrong side. This is why front docking, or just getting your build order right with the landing, is crucial. You want the building to be here. That way you can switch over to hit him at any time, and you can switch over to hit him at any time. This is a big, big blunder, I think, for Lan. We'll see, though, because he could... oh, no, he can't go around now. Oh, the transport ship's still here, though. If he can hide this, he can still transport around that. Nikov has placed an outpost there just in case. I want to point out the immediate reaction from Nikov to add more fishing ships. He actually queued them and has the gather point set in the wrong spot, but... this is the correct play from him now that there's no competition on water to add fishing ships and gain an eco lead there. And over here, you have Capoch, who started off with just galleys, sniping Tato's fish. Tato barely is going to have the resources to get to Castle Age. Oh boy, this is funny, man. This is funny. Here go the scouts. Nikov's looking for that transport ship. Oh, man. Oh, he had it in his sights earlier, too. Here it is. It takes a while for a fire to take out a transport, so... I think the scouts could so easily go around. Nikov spotted the villagers mining stone there. Can only fit 5 units in a transport. The transport's still sitting over there. Tato has to try and carry. He's now going front docks. He wants to get those longboats out from the front. It reminds me of Tato's 1v1 play on islands. He would do this with Italians a lot. Fast castle, back dock, save fish, and then forward dock it. Won't have much food income, Tato, but he will get to longboats. And I wonder if Lan feels it is the time to transport over. I feel like he could get away with it. I'm really surprised he's not trying to take the scouts over. Actually, is it better to send the Vils and 3 scouts or send all 5 scouts? I guess we'll find out. Here's Nikov's point of view. And now he has to wall behind here. Let's see if Nikov can react to this nicely. He needs to pull Vil this way. This would be a big mistake. Nikov, You have to pull the Vil this way and finish that Palisade first. Oh boy. The pressure's paying off. Nikov Vil down, and those scouts can run right in. Or not. Okay. Still not fully walled on this side. Needs to add some spearmen. Update on Land's base. Land, who still has those forward villagers, doing all right. And Land swinging the scouts over, but the walls are already up for Capoch. Now, a hole could be the GG. Because Land's already, or Capoch is already going to have some struggles against Tato in a bit. Or will he, actually? But I think Capoch would have checked for holes. And Tato's strat was super risky. He's going mass demos. This is desperation from Tato, then. He's actually making demos in here. An Argentina win on Spain's home map. A map that they have not had a lot of success on in this tournament. There's a demo. Of all things to add, adding a demo feels really weird, but you can't add longboats as you're on your way up, I guess. Scouts cannot break in. These villagers. Did Nikov kill both of those Vils? I think he did. I think he killed both of those villagers. Oh boy, this is amazing for Argentina then. And with Capoch having this many galleys, I don't think any amount of demos or longboats is going to do it for Tato. He's housed badly. He can't even afford Bodcanero yet, and there's the desperation demos. And he'll continue to try that, but my word, man, no forward villagers for Land. The stable's getting walled up. Absolute disaster. And now Nikov, who will have some archers, could transport them over. Such a good play from Argentina here. One longboat, really? All Tato has, one longboat and two demos. If a player like Tato makes demos in that spot, it's because they know they're probably dead. Capoch will get his upgrades. Here come the demos. 1 micro down, 2 micro down. That was sick micro there. Split the same group up there. And Nikov also going to be able to contribute on water in a bit. As I guess Land is focused or started to think about adding some fires. But should be full water control on Team Islands for Argentina. Now, I hate to bring up a sore spot for Argentinians. But not too long ago in the group stage, they were also way ahead on Team Islands. And they ended up losing that game. Now, we ended up finding out afterwards that there were 1 or 2 less golds on the Argentinian side. But Nikov ended the game with gold still yet to be mined. So I think the important thing when you're leading on Team Islands is to play the late game here. You have to deny enemy resources and stop them from landing you. And then you invest into trade. If the teams never give up, you'll hopefully have more trade, and that's kind of the deal. So it is kind of hard to kill off teams entirely on Team Islands. It does normally go late, even if there's a massive lead for one team. Tato, the king at staying alive and being annoying with small groups of armies. Snipes a few villagers there, but he'll lose all of his docks. You can't counter caravels with Vikings. Caravels are the perfect counter to Vikings, aren't they? Especially longboats, because caravels pass through those longboats, which stack. You don't get fires as Vikings, so you'd need to have the Japanese player doing something. And Nikov has just transported over these crossbows. And, oh, wow, the scouts got in. Well, that's going to be frustrating for Nikov. Then again, it's just scouts. And that's going to be it. So, might lose a Vil or 2 more. Capoch and Nikov do have the lead. And nice quick wall, Nikov. Now, something you can consider doing when you're behind, I guess it could work when you're ahead, is have the one player who's not, like Nikov's position. So the player who's not necessarily leading for the team, booming and then slinging resources to the water player to get the water player imp. You could have Tato do the same to Land, but I'm looking at Land and he's got very little going on for himself right now. Oh my god, he's transported in the middle! Oh, you're kidding me, Argentina. You're kidding me. Did they just assume that there wouldn't be a sneaky transport? Well, that changes everything. That changes everything because Argentina doesn't seem to know about this. And if Mangonels and Knights show up, Nikov dies and Kapoch dies. Oh boy. They don't have outposts in the middle. They don't have anything in the middle. They don't have scouts going to the middle. They just assume that there's nothing there. I think that if I'm Lan, I'm very patient with this. I would wait till I had 2 or 3 Mangonels. You do feel a sense of urgency because your team's behind, but don't attack a house. No! Oh my god, that's so bad. That gives them a couple extra seconds to react here. React here. Yeah, there's no world in which they're expecting this. Surprise! There's knights. Both those golds and the stones on the hill. Oh boy. And here Kapoch thought he was just going to boom up to Imp and win water. Spain could easily win this game now because of this land pressure. This land pressure. I think Nikov needs to contribute with some camels and maybe some monks. Tato doing what he can with low numbers. He sees fishing ships. He'll probably snipe them. We have barracks and monastery defense for Kapoch. He's losing villagers. He could lose this TC. Guys, this is brutal. If they would have known it was there, they would have had the eco with fishing ships to be able to make camels and deal with it. But the water control that Kapoch has, the 38 military that he has, doesn't save him here. Oh, man. It was all going according to plan. They have Tato surrounded. They have land surrounded on water. Now, Portuguese have cheap monks, so you can make monks here. I think it's important that Land has his own monks to convert any knights that come in or convert his knights back to his side. And he's also very late to that and will lose 1 vill. It's probably impossible to ever transport more villagers again here. Land cannot lose this vill. Land needs to keep this villager alive. Land will lose the villager. So he'll only have Knight Mangonel. So now, technically, just Camel can counter everything. Here comes Nikov. Doesn't have the best food eco. Making some camels and knights. Kapoch has lost a TC and cannot take gold currently. Do you guys see what I see? Look at Tato's stats for a second. Tato is on the way to Imp. He has the most eco in the game. He's also been the least idled as far as eco in the game. Because Nikov was idled. Kapoch has been heavily idled. Land's been idled. You guys are telling me that Kapoch can take gold. If this is what taking gold looks like, I don't think taking gold is going to win Kapoch this game. He's also making a mistake. If you right-click the town center to repair it, without any hotkeys, they'll repair around the ring. But if you use the repair hotkey, they'll repair in the middle, and then vills die. Oh! So he made that mistake and then fixed it. Okay, the monks are here. And, oh, don't lose the monks. Don't lose the monks. But still, so many villagers just died. That's crazy. That's worth it. And Tato, I know that he doesn't have the best civ to counter caravels, but he's trying to redock back here. And let's see what he's able to do. Oh, look at Nikov! Look at Nikov! With the 1 crossbow! Look at the micro. They denied the docks! With a war galley and a crossbow. I forgot about those things, man. I really feel like Nikov needs to transport now for Argentina. If they do the same thing to Spain, if they get vills here, then Tato can't focus on water, right? Tato can't dock. He's an imp for nothing right now. This dock was taken out. This dock is the only one that remains. And the threat of the landing has been thwarted. And yes, it's 49 eco for Kapoch, but at least he has the Navy numbers. So it looked like Spain with that little landing attempt could have done something, but I think Land, for the second time, could have and probably should have been way more convincing there. Look at the point of view of Kapoch. He is all along the shoreline. Constant patrols. Yep, this is the only area where Tato could maybe get docks up. Lan is scouting that with the Scorpion. Don't ask me about that one. You could go to stone and then castle the shoreline in Tato's position to get a good position back. But he didn't think about that fast enough, and he's not on stone yet. So Tato and Lan with way less pop. Tato trying to commit to docks. And okay, he has Bracer at least. So let's see what his micro can do for him. I feel like Bracer longboats are pretty good against regular caravels with proper micro. Tato coming back on the water. Good little splits here to get value. It's tough to know on if you focus on the villagers or if you focus on the longboats here, right? Tato does have the vills to throw away, so just keep sending vills. Oh, look at that. Suddenly, I think Argentina should be realizing that Spain are kind of coming back on the water. KD for Tato looking pretty good. Tato has to keep these separated, though, so the caravels don't do enough. Because the caravels are like scorpion ships, they do pass-through damage, and that's great against longbows when they stack on top of each other. Now, we also have to consider that Nikov should be landing at any point soon. I really think Argentina have failed by not doing that. But then again, it looks like Lan has been producing this entire time out of this stable. That's actually super well done. That's super well done. This stable didn't get walled in. I told you, Argentina, they've gotten leads on this before. And then they struggle to close out the games on this map. Capwatch doesn't have the resources for Imperial, guys. Longboats with chemistry and bracer are way better than caravels in this spot. And so I guess the reason that we haven't seen a counter landing by Nikov is because Lan continued to be a threat with this stable. Something I didn't think would happen after the landing was dealt with. And wow, like who cares if the Mangonels go down? Nikov still can't counter land. Nikov, do I see Mangadai? He's actually making Mangadai, and he is going to contribute on water for his team. Okay, so maybe some Mangadai at home to clear this up, and then it's all about Nikov going forward for Argentina. Whereas Capwatch needs to start castling the shoreline if he can, and staying alive for as long as possible. Actually, that was an amazing clear up. Did you see that? I caught the tail end of it. So what's nice about Nikov's position is he's going to get Bracer and Chemistry for his Navy. That also affects Mangadai. It's not like having to upgrade your camels and then upgrade your Navy. What a great game, though. I'm telling you, this one's going the distance. And whichever team trades first, I think it will make a big, big deal. Plus, you have Portuguese, so Portuguese could always make Vitorias. But I think Tato is going to be telling Lan to secure the shorelines, get castles up, and get trade a bit faster than Argentina will be able to. This is some crazy damage here. Lan is now on the way to Imp, and you have to expect that he will think more about water than the landing now that Mangadai are here. But he's actually going to hold against the Mangadai for now. The longer you stay here, the better for Tato. Tato all along the back with his docks. However, that's tough for him to push forward. A lot in the middle for Argentina. A lot to come on water for Argentina. Look at how weak. Look at how weak these Mangadai are. Good conversions, though, from Nikov, Argentina, with that score lead. Is Team Islands fun to watch or what, guys? I love Team Islands. Team Islands is one of the best maps to watch. It's brutal to play, but you have the land factor in 2v2s, and I should specify, specifically 2v2s. 3v3s, it's a little bit more about water in every other game mode, but in 2v2s, this meta is so enjoyable. But I don't think that Spain have the amount of Navy they need, and Capwatch is on the way to Imp. So if you want to outlast the opposition, I think you castle the shoreline. You don't build forward castles. That's just asking to get Treb down. Castle the shoreline like Tato's doing now. Start to trade. Italians do have the cheaper trade. Oh, wait, there's no Italians here. What am I talking about? Okay, so that's just a fun fact about Italians. Portuguese do have access to Vitorias, and that is a building they have to build. Which is kind of weak compared to trade eco, but it might also be decent in some spots. No. I love watching caravels fall into the ocean. It's such a beautiful sight. I'm sure Tato would like to see that happen a bit more. Tato's currently not cleaning up fights against Castle Age Navy. That's how good caravels are in this spot. So land needs to come back on water, and I think fast fire ship's the way. And he's already on fast fire. But look at Nikov. Nikov is here with galleons already. Okay. Look for trade carts in the queue, all right? Do me a favor and look for trade carts in the queue. I'll be paying attention to that myself. But I think this is the spot where Argentina, they queue up 20 or so more Navy. In particular, Nikov, maybe 20 or so more Navy. You start adding markets, and then you start slowly mixing in some trade. This still needs to be dealt with for that space. This is an area that Tato's being annoying on. But you see how Tato is castled here? We'll probably have a similar thing for land, or he'll attempt to castle on this side. Oh, Mangadai are here. I mean, they're not going to be elite ever, but they can be annoying. And Tato wanted to add some skirms. Maybe that archer range actually gets denied. Fast fire ships so good against galleons. And, oh, heavy demos, people! Heavy demos! Boom! Man. Now, it's a giant shame that at some stages of the games, the graphics just disappear. I'm sorry. We can only say thanks to E to that. But Nikov with the quick heavy demo switch, expecting the fast fires. Man, let's go. On this side, longboats against caravels. Caravels that have imp upgrades. They're not elite yet. Looks like a pretty even fight, but I think caravels should be better off here. Chemistry still not in. No, chemistry is in, excuse me. But I know land's dying, right? At least Capoch is close to 50-50 with Tato. Land is dying on water. No question. Capoch has the lowest pop. However, it's because he has less villagers. I don't see how land can ever get back on water by himself right now. And securing this side will be so important for markets and trade if that happens. Or if we get there. Tato has castled to here, for those mentioning it. And I see him getting the trade upgrade now. So he's actually making trade. But he's trading to a market that will not be on the shoreline. And if you're trading, you want to have the markets as far apart as possible for more gold income. See, shipwright for Nikov. Surprised he didn't have that upgrade before. Shipwright's a massive upgrade, but it's super expensive. And that will make it so much easier for him to dominate on water. The keys to victory so far has been all about Nikov.
In the overlay as requested. You the real MVP.
No disrespect to Capoch, but if you think back to how the series has gone so far, Nikov's score lead virtually every single game. He has had a beastly day today. And when Spain's playing, it's been the same with Tato. Well, at least when they're winning, they've needed Tato. Game 1 was incredible from him. The stats begin to get a bit deceiving because there's land military, water military. I guess there's less land military than ever. And these fights get really awkward. It's full range for Argentina. Fast fires are great against caravels, great against galleons. I think this is where Nikov needs to queue some demos. Demos, as we saw earlier, great against the fire ships. Are you enjoying the ding, 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 ding? Are you enjoying that? It's really annoying when you play, actually. It's just constant dings, man. Even if you click the ship, there's a ding. I don't know where they're getting all these bells. The trade for Spain. Both Tato and Lan at 150 pop. Nikov at 200, but Capoch only at 117. And he's also lost control on this side. So much so that this castle could get denied. What did I say? Spain are trading earlier. Spain are trading earlier. They're holding on. I've seen it before. And Lan is at 38 military, 38 fast fires. Tato's at 60 longboats. You compare the amount of military, Spain are leading. Market's now going up for Nikov as he tries to swing back to deal with this. Everywhere you look, Tato's being a pest. Look at this. Paying attention to the back docks, knowing Capoch needs to get more docks up. It all stems back to them landing that second time, guys. We're seeing such a massive swing now. I think Spain it's going to be hard for them to lose from this position. What's going to happen in the next couple minutes is Tato will clear this, or Nikov needs to send this force elsewhere. They'll secure this side with a castle, and they already have that trade. And Capoch simply can't get on water right now. And remember, he was the one who was... He had the lead in the game for Argentina, and then all the Mangonels and Knights came to him. Wow. Not a map that Argentina are going to enjoy too much. Long term in this tournament, I'll tell you that much. This is not the first time that they've struggled to close out games in Spain. I mean, huge credit to Tato, and huge credit to Lan for getting here, because it really did not look good after Lan had a blunder of a start with the landing. Guys, longboats went up against galleons. Should be favored, especially when there's fast fires in front. I see trade in the queue for Spain. There's no trade in the queue for... I almost said Italy. Excuse me. Argentina. Nikov has crazy resources, though. Can he carry Argentina? Capoch front docking. And finally getting elite caravel. I also saw Lan was making transports. I don't know where he can transport exactly. This castle was also destroyed. I don't think it was deleted. And oh, okay. So they're going here, and they're... Oh my goodness, look at the stone count for Lan. Oh, he's gonna go towers. He is gonna go for Japanese keeps with the Yasama upgrade, and that's gonna be a real pain to deal with. See, I don't like castles because I feel as though castles are so expensive and the enemy's going to have a castle to treb it down. But as this massive fight ensues here in the middle, those towers will go up in that trade area. Nikov can only do it on his own for so long. This is brutal. Spain are sending everything they have in the middle. What an epic water battle here. The navies, excuse me, from both sides are huge, but Capoch cannot get above 20 military. It's also that combination of melee and ranged. Technically, a fire ship is ranged, but I think you know what I mean. Combine that or compare that to knights and crossbows we see a lot in the land maps. It just works well, and it's given Tato so many free hits with those longboats. Oh, wow. Okay, so now we have actually castles and trebs and guard towers. Spain is trading. Spain have gold income. They're towering this little shoreline. Spain's doing everything right. So while it is possible, because it's hard to finish off games on islands, that Argentina can hold on for a bit, there's no gold income for Argentina. Even though there is some gold here, there's actually 400 to take, and there's also gold over here, so I lied. Capoch is taking gold, but Tato long term will have more gold income because every trip is 46 gold a pop. He's invested early, and now they have a lead, so they should be able to outlast Argentina. Wow. I think over the last couple moments, it's been a bit sloppy from Spain to take some of these fights because the fires haven't been in front. Lan's trying to path around now. That could have been way better. There are 47 galleons there for Nikov, and oh my god, that just like that, boom. More fires arrive. Wow, these fire ships, though. Fast fires are amazing. And the Trebs are here taking out the Eco. We have a Bombard Cannon for Capoch.
Let's freaking go. T90 high.
Some demos from Nikov. The problem is, while the demos work against just fires, they don't work too well when the longboats are out. These towers are so strong. I feel like he's still missing upgrades on them, and I see Tato getting Cannon Galleon now. Capoch has been into 110 pop for a long time, and I don't see that changing. Now the markets go up. You see the thing? It's the lack of foresight from Argentina. Now the markets go up. Now, I think the landing really screwed up the timing on everything they wanted to do. But Spain, when they got the lead, said, okay, we're not going to win the game right here. We're going to invest in trade to win the game 20 minutes from now. They have great experience there. Land doesn't actually have much trade of his own. I could be wrong, but he's got 28 in gold still. He has more of his focus right here at the moment. And fires. I love how the docks are so close for land, too. And also, I see pikemen. It's probably not necessary to float any land population. You only have 200 pop, but a few pikes with some trebs wouldn't be the worst move. This feels inevitable now. I think Spain are going to win on this game. It was their home map. Has not worked well for Argentina. And it's so sad for Argentina because it looked like they were going to win this game after that start. Ooh, man. Capoch is creating caravels, so he figures if I can create these things, I'm good. But it's not so good because he's borderline dying over here. And again, Tato is always back here, pressuring that gold. Nikov will lose the galleys there, which means villagers die on that shoreline. Just nuts. Born to Believe says it's the exact same story as in the game versus the Germans. Went ahead, Argentina is not taking the right steps. I agree. I agree. But you know what? Even I didn't expect Land to come back with another transport. How did he get there? Like, this is the deal. Land had the worst possible transport spot. Argentina was fully walled. And they had water control. Land, who lost his dock, somehow got villagers over here. I thought did he not lose his original transport? Can you guys remind me? It was so far out of the question that Land could get back to a landing that I just forgot about transports for a second. So I don't know if he hid that thing. I guess Tato could have made one. That was really sneaky, whatever happened. I recall it being attacked more than once, but there's so much that happened in that game, I don't really know. But that's a tilter right there for Argentina because they were ahead. Reminds me of the group stage. They were ahead, and it really comes back to Tato's ability to boom and get those docks up finally. And also, that was a heavy, heavy assist to Land for making so many knights and mangonels. Because the reason Tato seemed to be dead was because of Capoch's pressure. Capoch went having... Actually, check this out. I think you can see when things started to go wrong right here. He starts to lose all of his eco. He still has a lot of military. But because of Land's presence, Tato gets a massive lead, and they climb back into the game. But at this point, it's a world population of 290-ish. Argentina had so much more. You get the lead, and then you have to outlast your opponent on Team Island. It's not really the most fun way to play, because you want to kill, 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 kill. But when you've limited resources, you have to invest into it long term. We also didn't see any Vitorias. I don't know if the time was really right for an imp for Capoch because he was so dead. But that's another thing that the Germans did when they had Portuguese, and it just didn't happen. But as we watch these best of fives and best of sevens, games that could swing either way, they decide sets. And that might be a game we look back on if Argentina loses this best of five. And we'll now go to the final home map of Argentina. That will be Ghost Lake. And prior to the game, we talked through the strats a bit. There's an ice cream truck outside. Again, every Sunday, apparently. I'm going to be quiet about it because you guys are the worst, because you said to go get ice cream last time, and my girlfriend found out that you guys would be okay with me leaving the stream to go get her ice cream. And she was not on board with me saying, no, I've got a cast. So thanks for that, chat. Anyways, I'm not going to go get ice cream, but it is really tempting. The next game will be very icy on Ghost Lake. How's that? We'll compromise. But as we cross off the civs, I just remembered we have another set after this. Woo, what a day. We have another best of 5 after this. Okay, Portuguese and Mongols are gone for Argentina, and then for Spain, they lost out on Vikings and Japanese. All right. So, Ghost Lake. I think we see Cumans and Britons. Cumans is a wild card that could be also be used on Team Acropolis for Argentina if they win on Ghost Lake and it goes to Game 5, which I think a lot of people are hoping for. But Britain certainly is one of the best archer civs there. So for that reason, I don't think you pick Chinese. Chinese traditionally go archers. They can go other things, but as for Spain, I think they go... Well, they could go Vietnamese on either this or the next map as well. This is kind of awkward, isn't it? Do they go like Huns, Vietnamese here? We'll find out soon. Young Flame, thank you. You know what? This is a perfect time for me to do this because I promised to do so. Young Flame, thank you for gifting 10 subs. I'm also going to gift 10 subs to the stream right now since we have so many people watching. $1 for every sub goes into the total prize pool of the tournament. And I'm going to tack on to that right now. Guys, a lot of you won't receive it. There's a lot of people here without subs. But enjoy the emotes, please, and thanks for hanging out. I have like 30 more to gift before the tournament ends. And next weekend is more. And then the weekend after that is the finals. So there you go. Hopefully you get lucky. Growlith now hopping on with 10 gifted. Thank you, Growlith. Ooh, is anyone else kind of tense right now? Kind of nervous? A Young Flame, to make me look bad, is going to gift 5 more. All right. Thank you, Young Flame. Thank you, Shaggy Wog. Everyone's getting dodged right now. Crispy Moose, you're welcome for the content. Zeno, thank you. Hey, bro, thank you. Ah! Listen, if you don't get a sub over the next 2 minutes, do not buy a lottery ticket. That'd be my suggestion. Not saying that if you do get a sub, you should buy a lottery ticket, but just something to think about. Wow, guys, thank you. Jack Walker, thank you for the new sub. Not gifted. He gifted it to himself. Merry Christmas to you. Elias, thank you for the prime. 40 seconds. I see the civs. It will be Slavs and Britons for Argentina, and it will be Magyars and Malay for Spain. And I like the civs more for Argentina. Malay? They're a bit awkward, I think, in 1v1s. The faster age ups is pretty beast, but did I just say 1v1s? I meant team games. I'm not sure if Tato's going to be able to compete with Britons. Salenti, thank you for 20 gifted subs. Cardolas, thank you for 10 gifted subs. People just was like, dodged. It's probably mean of me as a streamer to have a dodged emote, but I think it's kind of funny and ironic how people with emotes and who are subbed can say dodged. But yeah, much love to you guys. Here we are, and let's hope Argentina ties it up, huh? Let's make this interesting. In the red, we have Tato. Tato is playing as the Malay, and then he's going to stick with that archer role that he knows all too well. Lan is in the yellow. Lan is playing as the Magyars. Up against Lan is Nikov. And I think Nikov might have needed to take a breather there. Argentina as a whole, because they were ahead in the previous game. They can definitely win this. They can definitely take it to a Game 5, which would be on Team Acropolis. We know that much. Britons is one of the best civilizations for this map right here. So there's no question they'll be in a good position to do damage. There's extra sheep on the map. You can take those, and Britons eat sheep faster. You also have a pretty wallable map, which is great for archer civs. Nikov's teamed up with Kapoch, who is Slavs, and that is also one of the best civs for taking map control because of the faster farms and then the amount of knights you can make. Now, I think this comes down largely to what Britons are able to accomplish. So, I don't mean to put excess pressure on you, Nikov, but this map is perfect for Britons.
Would have brought me ice cream.
This spot is perfect for Britons. No, Lorena, doubt would not have brought you ice cream. All right, stop it. All bonuses that you would ever want to make use of, you can do so here. And I'm looking at the gold positions for Nikov. He's definitely going to struggle to take this main gold and feudal. Same could be said for this, but this is an easy gold to take with some walls. So, no complaints can be had about the maps because 9 times out of 10, it's wallable on Ghost Lake. That main gold is always forward for virtually every player, and that also leads to some back golds. You see the same over here for Tato. You see the same over here for Kapoch. Nikov has had a great day today. Kapoch, I can't say he's really had a bad day, but there's been a few situations where he has been doubled.
6 months. D.
I think that Argentina would probably put the blame on themselves as a team for the previous game and not seeing that landing. They just didn't expect it. They figured, okay, we weathered that storm. This is not an issue anymore. I was wondering how many sheep Nikov would get. He's got extra sheep. Well done, well done, well done. And we've seen a lot of fast castling on this map, so keep an eye out to see if the walls come out early. We see a barracks before a mill. It could be drush. It's very possible with the extra food. Next time, I wish you had 1 best of 5 per day with interviews after each. Well, interviews are tough, right? Depending on who wins, it might not be possible to interview. But I will be doing interviews in the later stages of the tournament. But I didn't feel like it's really fair on players who already have to wait to play live. Then be like, hey, you just spent 4 hours of your life playing after waiting to play for a time that works for us. Why don't you stay here and talk for 20 minutes afterwards? You know, it's maybe not something that's brought up, but you know, for me, I have to think about the players as humans a little bit too. And so for that reason, I didn't want to do interviews here and then interviews later. We'll do interviews in the quarters, interviews in the semis, and the finals. All right, so the way this is structured, as we see that barracks for Nikov, and here come the walls, will be archer player against scout player if we even see scouts. We've seen some teams wall up with a scout roll and go fast castle. Kapoch walling with 3 fills. Seems to me like he might be considering that. If he walls here then, and a little bit of walling in front, he will be completely walled. But then again, I see him getting loom. That might be an indicator he will still go feudal age. Did Tato mean to pick Magyar? It's actually funny how we have Malay and Magyars on the same team. I think that's a first. So yeah, he meant to pick Magyar. His teammate stole it. Oh. Well, that will hurt Nikov's drush. Scout's very weak. Here come the militia. Nikov did not scout the berries, as he's setting the waypoints this way. And land... Oh, that's unlucky for Nikov. Just didn't scout it, and now land has walled it up, so it's hard for these militia to do damage. And again, on the other side, it looks like we have full walls as well from Kapoch, and while these walls are far from ideal, I don't think the militia here will do damage. Okay, so viewers who are here for Finland v Finland earlier, what did Max do very well in 2 of those games? Besides win, you know, what did he do very well? I'm just going to spoil the strategy, right? He did also win some games. Spoilers, Finland A won at least a game or 2. It was a great set anyways. But in this spot, he skipped making a barracks and a stable and meant eco upgrades and farms.
Play a best of 3 show match with Daniel against Hoang and Yo? In not. Who would
No.
win?
No way. If you give $500 to the loser, I'll do it. What? What? No. No, I'm not doing that show match. That sounds awful. All right, good little fight here. But yeah, he skipped the barracks. He skipped the stable. He made 0 military, and he went for farm upgrade, wood upgrade, and he just farmed like crazy. And you look over at Land's side. Land's actually making the stable. But if Nikov is completely walled, then... Actually, Nikov's not fully walled. I think that, and he also went up to Feudal Age way too early. He does not have the food to go Castle Age. Whereas Tato's still in Dark Age. He knows I advance faster to the next age. No one's going to pressure me. It's fortunately for Nikov, he is going to get the walls down, it seems. But yeah, I don't think his build order is all that good. I think Argentina will be happy with the fact that Capoch is not investing in the military, though, because there's no need to make scouts. The walls are up everywhere. Tato being as annoying as possible with the militia, but nothing too crazy. One small thing you can do in this spot is don't build a house right now. Because the second someone sees you build a house behind there, they'll just switch positions. House walling behind there's fine. But if you build it now, that's a time you're going to have to build that next house. So just wait until it's almost down, then place the house. Be my little tip of the day for you guys. Hi all, the Legend of Fatslav video brought me here. Well, you've joined it a good game because everyone's walled. It's not quite what you would imagine from Fatslav, but everyone is walled, so at least you've shown up to familiar territory. Hashtag tips with T90. Yeah, I guess Land will focus on the militia. I mean, this is fine for Argentina, right? They'll be fine with losing the militia. Look at all the little walls that Land has had to build. Actually, it'd be an awkward time. But what's to stop Nikov from sending his spear and 4 archers forward right now? Yay. Nothing. Tato's going fast castle. So Tato's not contributing at all. And if he goes spears and archers, I feel like Land's going to struggle with only scouts. But I think the meta tells you to keep everything safe. And a lot of teams stick to what is right in most cases. And other teams may be better at reading the situation for what it is when it happens. And Nikov's going to stonewall now. Oh, boy. So he is really terrified Tato might come to kill him with crossbows. And I think that's a genuine fear that he should have. Tato will be clicking up to Castle Age very, very soon. This is going to be a nuts uptime. If you're looking at Tato's vill count, you might be confused because no villagers have died. It's the melee bonus. You spend less time researching the next age in your town center, so you get to creating villagers faster. It's essentially a 6 villager lead for melee, if everything goes according to plan. Apoch, heavy house walling. Can't help but feel like Argentina really are worried right now, and I would be too. The pressure's on. They lose this. Spain moves on, and they will not be. Nikov's uptime is going to be one of the slowest uptimes I've seen with Britons on this map, and I'm not exaggerating. Something went wrong here. He's at 150 food, and we're at 16 minutes. This is behind a drush. Oh, he gets an extra sheep. That could be nice. He could pick a vill easily. Easily pick a vill. 1. And now he could break through. Best case scenario for Argentina, this reminds me of game 1. While Tato's untouched, Tato has to come help. So Land should build as many walls as he can. That way Tato could pressure somebody else instead of having to save him. Tato in Castle Age before 17 minutes. Oof. Also with 35 vills. Compare that to Nikov, who is 37, but Nikov has to advance to Castle Age yet. So this is insane. If I'm Spain, I just have Tato go Drush FC every game. Seriously. Game 1 was amazing. And now game 4, sorry. Game 4 is looking pretty good as well, as Capoch has to tower this gold. That is not good. That is not good. He cannot build that tower. That tower should have been up 2 minutes ago. All right, so he has to delete that, and now he has to go for this gold. And he will tower here. You know what? That's good recovery. Because as long as this tower goes up without losing bills, he can still take gold. He can still make knight soon. Did Nikov kill another villager here, or is that the same one?
Ready.
Nikov still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age, guys. Land's on the way up now. Nikov still has not clicked up to Castle Age. This is with Britons. Is so much military, but... Oh, disaster over at Kapoch's base. The snow preserved her. Feels bad, man. That's one of the funnier comments of the day. Feel like any amount of knights that Kapoch makes will be decent against the amount of crossbows Tato has, but the reason for that is because Tato's going for a big old boom. I'm really surprised that he's town centering here instead of town centering the front gold. A lot of players are building the second TC there. But he doesn't have that many crossbows. And Nikov is on the way up now. He is Britons. And he has 23 crossbows against Tato's 13. Actually, that's not true. He has 10. Because he has 3 militia still. Archer numbers win games, especially when you're Britons, especially on Ghost Lake. Don't think it's possible for Tato to break Nikov heavily. Could snipe villagers, but it's just as easy for Nikov to reposition to backwood lines. Nikov with house walls. Nikov with an outpost. Nikov will know that Tato is no longer at his teammate's base. He's waiting to push out. He will have 8 ranged crossbows. He was later to Castle Age than he would have wanted, and it's given Tato time to boom and get an economy lead. But still, I feel like this is very, very doable for Argentina. As the militia go down, Kapoch will start sending knights over. This could mean that land will need to be defensive in a moment. Do you think they should break the ice and dock? No, I think they should remember their ice skates, though. You've got to be careful. Otherwise, you'll start microing and you'll start slipping around. And one, great reaction from Nikov. Great reaction from Nikov. The best thing that Tato does, in my opinion, as a team game player, is he'll get by with low numbers of army and do more damage than most players would ever dream of. And then he makes you chase him. So Tato has 9 crossbows. He's going 3 TCs at home. And now you have Nikov sending 28 crossbows back. He has to worry about this. Now Kapoch has to worry about this. Now Nikov finally is going to decide to go forward. But it buys the team time. And Lan will certainly appreciate that time. Remember, Lan's Magyar, so he'll have the extra attack on the knights. And here's Lan. He says, hey, here are the knights. And Tato says, okay, I go that way. It's seriously, it's an art how he's able to control games with lower military numbers. He did the same with Team Secret, or now Team GL, I guess, in Battle of Africa. If only he could have controlled where Doubt walled, I think the result might have been a little different there for GL, but maybe that's too soon. So we won't bring that up. As Lan is sending a lot of knights this way. And there's a lot of crossbows from Nikov. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know where to go right now. Because now he's getting attacked. This is an art, I'm telling you. And honestly, Nikov should never be coming home with everything. He should never be coming home. He should be sending something forward.
On the playground was where I
They
spent
cannot
most
allow
of my
Spain to
days
dictate the
chilling
game
out,
like this.
and relax and all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood.
There's some trouble in Nikov's neighborhood right now. Like, massive amounts of trouble. And it's not just the military and the idle time. The trouble in Nikov's neighborhood is the fact that he can't go to work. He has to stay home to worry about the problems in the neighborhood. And his work, the work of the crossbows, is to kill. Nikov's kind of falling apart. Look at how much he has on gold. Look at how much he has on wood. The funny thing is, because he's Britons, if there's ever a moment where he's able to push out, it's going to be tremendous for them still. But guys, look!
Ready.
Look! They're running away again! I'm going to tell you, I think this decides the difference between the teams. These types of moments. And I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit, but if Spain win this series, think back to game 1 and what happens when land was getting doubled. If you haven't watched that game, watch it. This is so amazing. I love how great this strategy is, man. Tato loses the crossbows. Tato's got to mix in a bunch more. But yeah, if you didn't see game 1, I'll spoil the one moment. They basically let land get doubled, and he defended with houses. So Tato could go forward, and it was a risky move that ended up paying off and putting Spain in a decent position in that game. So when you have melee, your only advantage, and the only real thing that you can do over Britons, is to get imp before Britons. Because Britons have 8 range crossbows. And if you go imp fast with melee, then you have Arbalest. Arbalest can kill those crossbows pretty easily. The big problem I'm seeing right now for Tato is he's up against Slavs, and that's a lot of knights. And great job from Land to use the scouts. He's sitting them on the ice to track where the army is for Argentina. We do have full attack on the knights for Land, and here comes that push, and we have 33 crossbows against 28 crossbows. Kapoch loses a knight, and this is a pretty 50-50 engagement, except for the fact that Tato has Thumb Ring. Nikov can't get that as Britons. And then Nikov has the extra range. Thumb Ring does matter a whole lot here. Tato's saving up resources for Imp, and he will be there shortly. Whereas Nikov, his Vil count's actually pretty decent. Milan has the lowest in the game right now. I'm tense. This is intense. Kapoch has enough farms where he can go to 3 or 4 stable knights right now with Slavs. If they all in Tato, Argentina can win this and take it to game 5. There's the monastery. Tato's on the way to Imp. Yeah, so Spain will not want to fight until Tato's in Imperial. And Argentina want the exact opposite. They need to kill somebody now. Here are the knights pumping out here, guys. I think there might be a sense from Argentina that Tato might be imping, which is why I'm shifting back over to Tato to pressure him. I don't think... I mean, if Tato has the little choke points between the buildings and the town center there, I don't think it's going to be very easy for Argentina to engage against the army numbers. Not comfortably, anyways. They're tempted to take out the town center. I feel the need to take the town center. I just don't think they can. Brings me back to Tato being able to buy that much time. This is still so close because Land's eco is really far behind what Nikov and Kapoch have. But Land's been here before. You know, he's had weak eco before. He just needs to play his role so Tato can carry. And Arbalest and Bracers on the way. So now we have a pause from Land. I thought my game froze and I was about to jump here. Tato will have Bracer, which will give him 8 range, and Arbalest, which makes it way better than these crossbows. Nikov's close to clicking up to Imp. And I don't expect Kapoch to do much except make a lot of knights, and that's the same for this knight player here. This is going down live. The fate of 2 nations decided live. Oh, man. Now, it's Argentina's turn to buy time by forcing Tato to chase. I don't think it's going to be quite as easy, but the longer they can run, the better it will be for them. And they do not want their army to get trapped here. Oh, boy, but it's kind of happening, isn't it? It's happening. Oh, no. Nikov's on the way to Imperial. He needs his numbers. Nikov! He needs his numbers! Everything that's near these Arbalests will just melt. Land will happily spam knights here. It's right next to his production buildings. What a huge fight for Spain. And it is not a lot that they could really do in this situation, Argentina, because if they were to run to Kapoch's base, Kapoch dies. if they run to Nikov's base, Nikov dies anyways. It really comes back to the 9 crossbows running around. Because that's why Tato was able to get to Imp so quick. Because of the economy lead he gained during that time. And so now Nikov, he is clearly the most important player for his team. Oh, it's not all going to end here, I hope. The castle going up is there to deny that gold. Tato can so easily deny that castle. This has got to be it. That's got to be GG, right? He can't take gold, Nikov. He has 0 villagers on gold. Capoch has knights he can't fight with. Tato's pushing in here. He's got rams on the ready. Nikov will make it to the Imperial Age and expect a very solid fight from Argentina. They will not want to give up here. And rightly so. They've trained a ton. But Tato and Lan, their strategy, whether it was on the Islands game in the previous match or just the small little moments with these 2v1 situations, the presence of mind to know that you can leave your teammate doubled to give Tato a lead, those types of things really have gone so far for them today. And Tato, another game where he's carried his team. 63 military, 170 pop, adding bombard cannons to pressure castle of a castle age player. Nikov getting Arbalest, getting Bracer, but now everything's heading over to Capoch. Now I see this. This knight might actually be very interesting later on. I also see this. And if Capoch could get a solid raid in on land right now, and somehow, I don't know how, but somehow Nikov's able to save Capoch at the same time, this could be doable for Argentina. I see all of the Arbalest coming towards Capoch, who's only in Castle Age. Guys, this is extremely common for the Knight player because they're spending tons of food and gold. I feel like Capoch is just about to die. He couldn't even counter too much. Here comes Nikov. Now, he does have 10 range ARBs against 8 range ARBs. So there is a big benefit to being Britons here. But now Lan is going to have a free boom. And he won't be raided for a while, as both Argentinians try and take out Tato. Might I add that that will probably be unsuccessful. Here come those knights. Tato. Oh! Well, the bombard cannons are really expensive, and Capoch bails. Would have lost too many knights there. Tato's just everywhere right now. Nikov snipes 1 bombard cannon. Oh, big shots. Snipes 1 bombard cannon. There's still 4 remaining. There's still ARBs around here. Thinking this is where Spain will start to think a little bit about trade. And Lan is going to be on his way to Imp as he's freely booming. I think it's time to prepare the Fs for Argentina. Because it's looked over for a while now. But there's so little to separate the teams. It's just small decisions. Thousands of decisions are made each game. And it's 1 or 2 decisions in these games that decides it. That's how high the level is. Extraordinary level. I think that Nikov will be unhappy with his uptime. Oh, nice raid here from Capoch. It will probably be short-lived, but that's a good little raid. Nikov will be upset with his uptime. I think that Islands is one they'll look back on as a game they should have won. You can get away with a few mistakes if you're taking advantage of winning positions at times, right? You win the previous game, you lose this, whatever. Then you go to game 5. But not the first time today we've seen this happen where teams just couldn't close out when they get a slight lead. Tato had one of the best Whoa, Lan is getting wrecked over here right now. Okay. Tato, who's part of one of the best comebacks the tournament has seen so far against Argentina B. He doesn't hate... Tato hates Argentina. He's seriously been a beast against Argentina in this tournament. I forgot about that. At first, Spain had to knock out Argentina B in the group. And now they're against Argentina A here. Well, Kapotch, not the first time today he's had to reboom, but he doesn't have town centers. He has to rebuild them. So he's 3 TC booming. That's good. He doesn't realize that Knight is on his wood line. There's a lot going on right now. And Tato backed away temporarily, but I think he was luring Nikov into a false sense of security, as he clearly has the numbers. Guys, there's no fight which Kapotch can take. You know, if you see these Knights running around looking hopeless, it's because it's hopeless. They die to ARPs, and they will now die to everything Lan has. There's the only thing that Lan or Kapotch could have got away with was raiding this gold. And he actually did that. He took out the town center. But once Cavalier is in, and Cavalier will soon be in, and Tato's now sending food over to Lan, it will be Cavalier with Arbs. Speaking of closing games out, don't you feel like Spain should be pushing a little more? Why haven't they taken out this castle yet? I'm a little surprised by that. They are adding the markets now for trade. And I mentioned this Knight earlier because there's an extra gold there, which I assume Spain doesn't see. But Spain's got to be careful here. Kapotch is pretty much dead. Got to finish off this game. But I think they're waiting for Cavalier. The castle will go down. Tato at 200 pop. And the GGs are called. And guys, Spain wins 3-1. I'll be real, though. This did not feel like a 3-1 set. This felt like a... If it was a best of 21, a 10-10 going into the 21st game type of set. It was that close. But Argentina just made some poor decisions. And probably the biggest takeaway that you can get from this game in comparison to game 1, which Spain was also able to win, spoilers, sorry, was what happens when someone gets doubled. In game 1, Lan got doubled when Tato had military. So Tato had an advantage he needed to use. And Lan probably said, ouch, this hurts. I'm in trouble. But the correct call in that instance, since Lan was already behind, was to have Lan do what he could to not get further damaged and then let Tato damage the enemy. In this game, what happened? Tato had 9 crossbows. Lan was with him with knights. They were trying to track the army. Nikov was halfway across the map. And that attack, instead of, I don't know what he could have done, right? Making more crossbows to deal with that, asking for some help from Kapotch and going forward with the crossbows, he sent all of the crossbows home. And that lost them the game. Other aspects would be the fact that Tato's eco was way ahead, but the reason Tato's eco was way ahead was because he committed to less military. And then it paid off. 96 largest army for Tato. He's playing so good. 147 military for Tato. More food, more wood, more gold. I mean, he had more food than the Knight players. I mean, come on. Collected more food than the Knight players did. He doesn't even need food as much as the other guys. This is what I was talking about when I saw Nikov's build order. Nikov, with a 21:53 uptime with Britons, I think you either go Drush FC or you don't go Drush at all. Because the Drush into 11-minute feudal and then 22-minute castle felt really slow. I think when you have extra sheep on that map, you either commit to fast castle and then you're really competitive with Britons, or you just go straight archers. But the Islands game will probably haunt Argentina because they were ahead in that game. They did all the right things except not spot that landing. But it's the best teams who are able to see an opportunity and take it. And it's the best teams also who don't allow those tiny little opportunities to bloom into something good for the enemy. But what a series. Salutes in chat, please, though. The one thing that needs to be said about Argentina, and this is why I'm such a big fan of Nikov and Kapotch and any player who's like this, teams really put in some hours to train. There are some teams, and they may or may not be coming up next, who are so skilled that they don't need to put in quite as much time training, all right? But Nikov, every time there's a tournament, is training his socks off, all right? And I feel for teams that lose in tight sets because of that. But the reality is we need more of that.
And casting.
there's benefit to that, and unfortunately, I feel like Nikov, Kapoch, and their preparation might possibly get countered by the amazing small decision making that Tato offers to his team with Spain. Looking forward to seeing what Spain brings, but again, salutes and please respect to Argentina because they would have wanted to do more. I hope they continue to compete. They have the skill, and also, of course, respects go out to Spain as they'll continue.